Hey, what's going on out there, folks? Rooster here in Tennessee, looking at another interesting piece of equipment. Today it's the Brute 2 by Maco, a lot of times known as a Maco 300. Basically the same thing as a Maco 300. This one's in good shape. Picked this up off a gentleman yesterday, and it is for sale. This is the 7-tube version. If you can see down in there, you've got like a 5 up here in the front, 2 in the back. Now I haven't had the lids off of this, but I'm assuming that it's got either 8950s or 2057s in it. And to be up front, there's probably a higher dollar amount worth of tubes in this thing than what this amp is even worth. 2057s and 8950s, or yeah, 8950s. I was about to call them 8930s, but that's a steel tube. 2057s and 8950s, either one, for good tested tubes, new old stock tubes or good ones, you're looking anywhere between $75 and $100 to $110 a piece. And this one's got 7 in it, so you do the math there. Even if we say 80 bucks a pop, that's $560 worth of tubes. And I took a chance on this thing and held my breath when I turned it on, praying that nothing went wrong with it, and praying that the tubes were good in it. And when I first tuned it up, I tuned it straight for a carrier and was not seeing the power out of it that I wanted to. And when I did that, I was pegging this DC meter on the front, this amp meter on the front. Modulation light was lighting up real bright, but I was not getting the power out of it. Well, I tuned it for peak, and it came on up, and we got some pretty good numbers out of this thing. So I'm going to show you what it does on peak, high and low. Sideband delay does work in it. It does have a sideband delay. You got 2 tuners here in the front, and again, I tuned this out for peak output with just audio and into the mic. You know, for example, audio, and then, you know, turn the knob, go to the next one, audio for peak output. And the modulation meter light will indicate, it'll give you a pretty decent indication if you're in tune. See how it's shining real bright there? Hello, hello, hello. If we're not in tune, that little modulation light will go way down. So I'm assuming it lights up based off the output power that you're seeing. But you got 2 tuners here in the front, and then you got a tuner here on the side, which I don't think it's a tuner at all, because I think it's a drive control. Now it's labeled as tune, but the only way to get max output with this one is to turn it wide open. And it doesn't just keep revolving round and round. I mean, you can turn it wide open or all the way down. So that seems to be a drive control. But you guys can see this thing's in pretty good shape. I could probably wiped it down a little bit better before we did a video on it. But it's been well taken care of and seems to be running good. Runs nice and quiet. The fan in it does. Sideband delay works. I think the standby works too. You hit standby and it turns the fan off, but the amp keeps running. So that's interesting. I don't know why it does that, but I don't know if it came that way or what, but interesting that the standby switch, if you turn it on, the amp stays on, but the fan turns off. You'd think you'd kind of want it to keep going. There it is. Anyway, enough jibber jabbering. I know you guys tired of hearing me ramble on about this thing. Like, hey, get to the output test of it. Well, let's see what this thing does. We're going to drive it with a Cobra 29 doing about 8 watts average, and I think it's doing 35 to 40 peak on a bird, but about 8 watts average power going into this thing. And we got a 1000 watt slug over here, and they're nice and secure. And we'll test it on average power first. We're on high. Key this thing up. Hello, 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 hello. Nice and bright on our modulation light. Meter's not pegging to the wall. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, bottom scale. Shh. Over 200 average. Audio. At 230, 235 average, depending on how we talk into the mic. And let's flip it on peak here. Peak hit's now on. Still looking at the 1000 watt slug, 1000 watt scale. Hello, 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 hello. Audio, 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 audio. Just shy of 800 watts. Test, 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 test. Audio, test. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Hello, radio. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Audio, 1, 2, audio, 1, 2. Let's go to low on this thing and see what it does. Hello, audio, audio. Boy, it cuts way down on low. Probably turns the driver tubes off if I had to guess. Hello, audio, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. A little bit over 200 watts on low. Running nice and warm, not hot, just nice and warm. But that's it. This one's for sale, guys, but I'm not going to ship it, so sorry about that. If that disappoints anybody, I hate to ship this thing. Well, you know what? I said I won't ship it, but if somebody really, really wanted me to, and you cover shipping and you cover insurance and assume any responsibility if it gets destroyed. Now I'll pack it super nice. Pack the inside, take the tubes out, wrap them separately. But the thing is about shipping tube amps is, you know, it's old as it is, and even if it doesn't look like it gets damaged in shipping, you never know. Something could get shook loose, something could get jammed around in there, and then you get it and it doesn't work the way it worked here, and you're like, what the heck? This ain't what I paid for. So I like to say I won't ship it, but you know what? To the right person, I would ship it if you really want this thing, and you know, you're willing to take some responsibility for it, and I don't have to worry about, you know, if something gets beat up or banged up. Preferably, if I ship it, be to somebody that actually can work on this thing if something did get shook up in shipping. But that's it, guys. Maco Brute 2. One of these just sold not long ago, 450 bucks on eBay. I'm not asking that much for it, not going to ask near that much for it. But again, consider this when you buy it. You know, $500, $600, $700 worth of tubes in this thing. And it can be converted. There is a conversion out there to run cheaper tubes in it. So you know, it's not the end all be all if the tubes go out. You know, it's going to take a little bit of modifying to get it to run cheaper tubes, but it will run cheaper tubes. But anyway, guys, that's it. The Brute 2 by Maco. One last time, let's come over here and give it an audio. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Audio, audio, audio. Just under 800 watts. I think that's about right for this thing. Not bad at all. Brute 2 by Maco. Hope you guys enjoy. Questions, comments, complaints, let me know. Shoot me a text, 423-299-3535. See you, bye.